Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to Farming Simulator 19. This is Valley Old Farm, episode number 16. Last time we got started on the rather large task of mowing and baling, and well, we're probably not even halfway done as of yet, but we continue on with that project in this episode. So last time we started with, let's make sure grass is selected. Here we go. We started with this northern and western group of fields, of grass fields. These are all grass fields as well. And off camera, I got started on 91 and 62. Also got started on that task of gathering a lot of the bales and selling the bales. And there is definitely a lot of money to be had in this project. Right now I'm wrapping my way back and forth across this 91-62 area and now pushing into field 92 here and eventually into 63, and then we'll make our way across the street, though I am turning my loops through here, but we'll clean that all up later on. We have a lot of trees to navigate through. That does make this task a little trickier through here. Right at the edge of this tree line. Now what I've taken to doing here as I kind of go north-south is I'm doing 2 rows combined and then skipping to that next row. So I'll make my way through here twice, pulling it together, but when I go back the other direction, I'll make sure I'm wide enough to not pick up this row. 10 o'clock in the morning here into late spring. Once we're done with this, we're still going to have a lot to do, actually, as we have a lot of fertilizing still to get through once we get past this stage. I'm going to have to start picking this up a little early, unfortunately, just because of where we're at. And this is definitely going a lot smoother than when we first started the mowing, getting used to this extra wide windrower being paired with that triple mower, kind of finding how to use it more effectively anyway. This is definitely a task that's going to take a long time. We're getting a lot of slow stretches where the weight of it is a bit of a problem. Now we're getting into another turnaround kind of area, but let's go around this way and help clean this up. Let's shut that off for a moment though, so we don't mess up what we've already done here. And now we'll clean up down here. Continue along. As you can see, the trees are largely dictating kind of how we run around through here as we try to avoid trees but still get as much of the grass as we can. So not the easiest task through this area, but the other fields, once I'm done with this little grouping of fields, the other fields are pretty much wide open and we won't have to worry about trees other than a few edges here and there. That'll be a pretty easy section. Let's go ahead and push over into time-lapse as we continue on with this task. Alright, so we left a group of trees there, but fields 62, 63, 91, and 92 have all been mowed and rowed now. So I'm going to take the equipment over to our next area, which will be 60, 83, 61, 84, and 66. Maybe 61st by itself. And then maybe grouping those four together will probably make the most amount of sense. So I'll run the equipment over here, but then we're going to head back and pick up some bales again and see where the finances are now at. At the end we had to switch to an east and west row instead of the north-south, but we were able to pretty successfully anyway do what it was that we wanted to do here. And here is the start of field 60, so we're going to drop equipment right here. Next up, we will pick up the bale hauler and then we'll get going on that continuation of work. And it actually looks like we already have pretty close to a full load on there as it is. Alright, no cars coming. There's a lot of bales out there. Even though we had 100% of them picked up before. Alright, so we're at 70% right now. We got one that rolled down the hill here, so we'll start with that. That's 18. I think we'll go straight up the hill here. Looks like there's not much left to get out there. Let's see, can I turn sharp enough to get that in there? Yes, I can. Free to go. Now, last time we did the hard math on this to figure out where we were, and we did most of that work after the episode, and it's been a little while since we recorded that. So, Dad, you'll have to remind me if I'm correct on this. We have 24 bales per, and I think each one came out to a little over $1,000 each. So that each load of bales was going to add up to about $25,000. Does that sound right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, so $25,000 per load. So that means right now we're carrying about $25,000, and this is our, I believe, our fourth load already, and you can see there's at least a couple loads out there. So we have a whole lot of money here already. This is going to make a massive difference, but of course it's going to take a few days before the grass turns into silage. Ironically, I just got out of town for the first time in almost 2 years over the weekend, just a day trip, and on that day trip, and actually to visit a certain somebody I'm talking with right now, on that day trip, there was a field with the same color wrap of bales, and when I came back the other way, they had picked them up.
Yeah, that was a nice surprise.
Yeah, if you're watching, as you know, this is my dad that we're playing with here, and my wife and I went and visited Mom and Dad for the U.S. Independence Day for the holiday, but we went out and about, but we did not mingle with crowds at all. We stayed far away from any crowds. Alright, so we're heading down into the BGA plant here with this load. Like I said, I believe this is our fourth load now, so quickly see if I'm right about that. And yes, it is. So you can see 3 loads already brought down there. Now, let's see. This is going to start getting a little bit trickier because I think we're going to end up with quite a few loads. So I'm going to start condensing this down a little bit more. Straighten this out. That's not how I wanted you to go about that, but there we go. We'll push this right up towards where that other load is. Back up, and we head on back. Go ahead and use that time lapse again. As we pick up and drop off some more bales. Alright, well, with just 2 bales left on that field, we have finished baling and finished cleaning up. That next area, of course, has already been mowed, is ready to be baled. And once that's done, we've got that third area still to do. So there is a lot of bales still coming. And as you can see, we are just now finishing up our 7th load of bales at $25,000 roughly per load. We're now sitting on $175,000 worth of silage right here. Of course, we still need to wait that few days for it to be ready to go. And then we've got to sell it, and that could take a little while as there are just a ton of bales. And this is still maybe a third, maybe less than a third of the overall area that we are mowing. So there's a lot of money to be had in all of this, but that's all the time that I have for this one. We're going to continue probably working the whole next area off camera, and then I'm probably going to switch it up for our next episode, where I'll be doing the baling side of things as we wrap it up, and then hopefully be able to push forward a few days for the next episode, so 2 episodes from now, where we can then get it sold. In between, we're going to have more fertilizing, and we'll sell a bit more wood, but I think we're getting to that point where we're not going to need to sell a whole lot. But we do need money for fertilizer over the next few days, so in order to keep up with that, we're definitely going to have to sell some additional wood. But that does it for this one. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to hit that like button, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there, and bye for now.